Yeah, I got a Koopa Troopa. He's my guy in Mario Kart, so you better believe I had to check this one out. Oh, well, a lot of shit just fell over. From the Super Mario Bros. Movie, specifically this line of, pseudo Mario Kart figures that really just include 4 people, I have a Koopa Troopa and this Bullet Bill bike. And I'm not gonna lie, before the movie came out, I kind of thought this was just actually supposed to be Bullet Bill, like maybe they had changed it to where now Bullet Bill was just the motorcycle. But no, I guess they just made cars that look like they're suicide bombers. Taking a look at the minifigure, and I actually really like this guy a lot. He doesn't have much articulation on the go, just universal, a ball joint here in the head, a universal here on the shoulder that doesn't get that much articulation, unfortunately, but you can get him like saying hello, or, I don't know, dancing, like how they do sometimes. Oh god, it looks like he's cats. Okay, you know what, that's still fine with the Koopa Troopas, maybe they like Broadway. You have a universal down here in the hip, and that's about it. Overall, these guys are about 3 inches tall, but the detailing is really well done. Great painting and sculpting. The biggest knock I have is that there's kind of an unsightly seam line there where the nose meets the head, but that's not much of anything, and it's so small you don't really notice those things. I also just want to pull out our other Koopa Troopa figure from the movie. Of course, this is the very mini Paracoopa. I like the idea that they're all wearing helmets now. I think that's a very fun detail. I don't know if I want that to become like a mainstay of the design, but it was a cool new idea for a very recognizable type of foot soldier. But let's take a look at his ride. So, the Bullet Bill bike does show up in the movie for like a scant few scenes, but it's not the cart I think of the most when it comes to the Koopa Troopas. I'm thinking of like that big crusher vehicle that the General had, which obviously this is the General, so it'd be weird if he got it. But they also had like ones that look more like Mad Max dune buggies. This motorcycle definitely showed up a handful of times. I just don't remember like any big set pieces with it. They were always kind of just in the background. But it is a very distinguished, like, characterful design, so I can probably... It has to be that, right? 1, it looks cool. 2, it's easier to make this than a monster truck. And I'm happier they went with this as opposed to the direction they went with Toad, where he's supposed to have the biggest cart in the entire movie, and yet his cart is physically smaller than everyone else's in the toy line. Getting the Koopa Trooper onto the motorcycle is actually pretty easy. There is a little slot there in the seat where his tail goes in, and that kind of locks him in place, and then you just put his hands over the handlebars. Overall, it goes a lot easier than it could go. I know I've had some nightmare experiences just trying to get Marvel Legends to hold the handlebars of motorcycles, and it's kind of surprising that this works so well. I think Jakks Pacific really are at their best when they're making huge figures or small figures. It seems like the only times I ever have issues with their toys is when they go for like the 5 to 6 inch range. But we've not even talked about the main gimmick yet. So, you roll this guy back, and he just goes. Oh, well that was pitiful. Roll him back, and he just goes. Jesus, well he was going really well before until he fell off the table. Roll him back, and he just goes. There, that works. In all seriousness, the pullback motor works incredibly well. I was just being a moron there. So yeah, even the gimmick is pretty solid on this guy. But the highlight really is this Koopa Troopa. If these guys go on sale, I would totally army build these, just because I love this figure so much. It's just a tiny representation of this little army guy. So, yeah. I think that these guys retail for about $16. I don't know if they're worth that much. If you're like me and you just really love a specific character, totally pick that up. Otherwise, I think wait for them to go on sale, because I feel like they probably will. They're kind of clogging up a lot of the Walmarts in my area. I think if these guys ever get down to like say $10, it's a steal. And at that price, I totally would buy more just to get more of these Koopa Troopas.